everyone, and welcome back to Should We Reset podcast.
Hello. Welcome back. I am Jay with the Gems.
And Miss D here, and we are
Should We Reset?
All right, today, y'all, we got a little bit of an unpopular opinion topic to discuss here. As you may have known, Latto, big mama, no kids, is preggo.
Your face when you said...
Hey, okay, so, and we are actually conflicted on, like, should we be happy with her, or should we, or for her, happy for her, or are we disgusted? Because, you know,
She is having a child by 21 Savage, who is already married to a different woman altogether.
with multiple children, like 3 kids.
So has a full-on established family.
Now,
Pre-established.
yes. Now, sometimes people will move on to their next partner before being completely resolved with their current one. And then some people, you know, they just don't care. We have the polyamorous lifestyle that seems to be a trending topic amongst multiple communities. And
Too
not
much
as,
for me.
right, not exactly trending, but more common. It seems like it used to be very taboo to kind of be in a relationship like that. But now it is not. It's not taboo at all.
It's really not. It's like you see it all the time where people keep trying to talk about ethical monogamy or ethical non-monogamy, and then it's funny too because now that they have that terminology, before it was like polyamorous, and now it's like ethical non-monogamy, like to make it sound a little bit
Like, to give it a little bit of grace.
right, right.
Put a little respect on it, I guess.
Right, yeah.
So,
Sprinkle.
now, you know, with that, it's, you know, the sanctity of marriage is not generally respected with these other relationship structures getting more popular.
And I mean, is it something to it where it's like how are people in this society, at least in the American society, viewing marriage these days? Like, do they respect it as much as they once did, or did they at all? Because, you know, back, you know, in the 50s or 40s and all that, it would be people having completely different families just on the other side of town, but nobody knew about it because
one of the Temptations' greatest couple was a Rolling Stone. Okay, so you know
right.
we've been had men
and we didn't go too far to
making
get
their
into
home
copyright.
wherever they laid their hats.
I see you changing up enough for it not to go to copyright.
strategic thinking. But anyway, yeah, so this has definitely been something that has been long standing. People would be shamed, just like even on a, not to put all the shame to the men, but you know they got the saying, mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
They do.
So, which we saw with the whole Cardi B and Stefan Diggs, because she had a baby while she was not resolved with her marriage with Offset. And, you know, now she's...
That's since dissolved.
It has been since dissolved. However, it was questionable if who was the dad. Was it the husband or the new boyfriend's baby?
And I mean, technically, I don't know exactly what state or whatever they registered their marriage in, but in many states, like I believe, for example, in the state of Michigan, typically what happens is if you have a child while you're still married, then even if you have the child with someone else, then that child, their father is your husband.
Right, and that's how it was back in the day. Hence the term, mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
Yeah, but it's like, and it's interesting too because it's like when you have a child while you're married to someone else and you have them by someone else, and then if you're in that situation where the child literally legally belongs to the person you're married to, then it's just like you really messed. Like,
it gets messy really quickly.
It's very messy, and it's like I wish that we as a society together still believed in having some shame.
Yeah, because some of this non-conventional stuff just unnecessarily complicates.
It's too far.
Notion of courting, dating, getting into relationships. People start getting their own definitions of what is considered dating, what is considered courting. The definition of a relationship, apparently the goalpost continues to move on that.
Too many ways.
We are not going to go off into the realms of situationships, friendships versus the relationship.
Versus dating versus talking.
Courting. Actually, courting does not even seem to be like a thing of thought. Like, people don't generally try to court. Either dating and continuously casually, or maybe people may want to get serious, but it doesn't seem like it starts off that way all the time.
Yeah. And it's like, it's still trying to decipher all of these various different ways in which people want to come up with a way to continue to be casual, where it's just like, oh, you're just talking. Oh, you're dating. And then before, you could say that you're dating, and then it would be like you're dating and it's like serious. It's like you're intentionally dating for the and together, right? But then it's kind of split to saying like casually dating or dating with intention.
And then before the intentions are clear, even if you may have a common goal of intentionality, the road to that is still casual.
Yeah. And then even if you're like dating with intention, you're still not in a relationship.
Right. So it continues to unnecessarily complicate it. Like, why can't it just be you like me and I like you, we're courting?
Sincerely, why can't it just be that easy?
And that's it. You locked in.
Like, people overcomplicate it so far.
Right.
It's just like, and I feel like people put this like ridiculous level of fear and level of like, such a high standards or checklist to where it's like all of this has to be in order to be in a relationship with this person.
Right. Everything has to line up perfectly. That's the thing. And I feel like that with like the fear behind maybe like things not working out or whatever, that's why people get in the comfort zone of just keeping things casual. But it's like, hey, life isn't perfect, people aren't perfect. At the end of the day, if it don't work out, start fresh and you re-enter into the dating scene.
Yeah, but at least you fully tried, though.
Right, versus partitioning yourself or not giving things a full chance, because then you end up with like maybe like regret or resentment and those kind of things.
People, it seems, so wanting to just be so casual, like they keep thirsting for that high of a new person too quickly, where it's just like, oh, well, you found a great person, you're talking to them, you date, you having a good time, you mesh well, all of the things are like pretty much majority of the boxes are checked, but then at the same time that thirst for just like something new just remains there for some reason, where it's just so
you started a new connection, you don't develop it
Yeah.
Or nurture it at all so it doesn't develop.
Mm-hmm.
Because things have been casual. So this other new connection is also developing at the same time. And then pretty much everybody suffers because everything is still casual.
Mm-hmm. And then it's at the same time, it's like, depending on who the person is, because that could go for a woman or a man or whatever. It could go either way, where, you know, you would have it and the person would be like, oh yeah, we got this, we're in this relationship, just casually dating. And then you're casually dating this other person. Somebody, the person who's creating the idea of like just casually doing it, because a lot of times it's not always a mutual decision.
Yeah, true.
Like a lot of times it's not a mutual decision all the time. So the other person definitely going to get hurt a lot of the times out of that. And it sucks. And so it's like, I don't know. And then people are not necessarily truly actually honest with what they like, because I feel like if you were to approach somebody and say, oh yeah, no, I just want to literally just casually date only and that's all I want to do.
Yeah, you would basically have no prospects, because
Precisely.
People, even though they may be comfortable with something initially starting off as casual, but they don't want to continuously remain casual.
Yeah.
Like at some point, like you anticipate things to grow. Mm-hmm. It's just the natural discourse of just anything in life. You expect it to grow over time, change to happen.
And then, and then there are those times where you could meet somebody that's on that exact same type of page, where they're just like, yeah, they don't see anything serious. But then at the same time, if they're not seeing anything serious, like to have it with you, then that, like, neither one of y'all are, like, either party is taking each other seriously.
And then the whole casual continuation just continues.
Yeah.
So that's how we end up with these situations like Latto or like Cardi B using the baby as get back.
Did 21 Savage, did he ever say something like because I know he's claimed her on socials and everything, but like does he have feelings for her?
Well, if you come out publicly, saying, hey, this my baby, that's at the end of the day, he is a rapper. They're not generally known for being the most emotional. Mm-hmm. And in regard to PDA and all of that stuff, that's him saying like, "Hey, we out here. I done expanded my family."
But I doubt it. I'm curious. I mean, has his wife said anything?
I'm not gonna go off into what she said because I feel like it was kind of slightly like hearsay a bit about how she felt like basically Latto was a homewrecker, but because they've been married for quite a few years. I mean, they're 3 kids in. And they've been married for like a while. They've been locked in for a while.
And even if even if she did say that, because the issue with dealing with people that are in the entertainment business is that that they're going to be exposed to so many people and new people on a regular basis who think they're amazing, who always blowing smoke and all that stuff. But
the thing is, there are also people in the entertainment industry who have had very long-standing marriages. Like the guy that is the writer or the director for Star Wars. What is his name?
Are you talking about Ryan Quinn? That's not Star Wars.
Because him and his wife, I cannot recall his name.
Oh my gosh!
Him and his wife have been married for like 40 years or something. There's, to our knowledge, no rumors of any
George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas. So that's an example of a very elite person in the Hollywood scene or entertainment industry who's in a long-standing partnership. Yes. So it's like
Jojo.
Yeah, that's another one. So it's like there are examples out there, but they don't get the notoriety that they deserve we have.
Even so too, it's like you think about it and it's like those people, like you have to have that personality too, where you're not trying to be about all of like just like your whole personality can't be about fame.
Right.
In order to do it.
Or you're doing stuff for clout or publicity, but even with Latto and 21 Savage, like they all had their own individual notoriety. It's like she didn't have to ride his clout. He didn't have to ride her clout, so it's just like.
But I'm saying like internally, like 21 is internal piece, like where he sees himself like as a person within himself. Like if you see yourself like he's a famous person, he's a rapper, he's this, he's that, he's the other. Like that's what makes up who he is, and like you like those. Sometimes I feel like people see themselves in that way, and so they're like, you should already expect them to be talking to other people.
Right, yeah.
And
then a lot of the times in these situations, like the other spouse may know that their spouse is having additional people involved in the relationship.
Like that was their agreement.
Yeah, so then they may have some kind of agreement. Sometimes it's not the case. Well, it was no open secret that Offset was cheating with or having infidelity with his marriage and with Cardi B, because his nickname was Off to Cheat. So you got that. So sometimes, a lot of the times, even though from the outside looking in, people may feel like you don't understand it or it's shameful or whatever, it's still very much taboo, and it is still very much so disrespectful to the sanctity of marriage, because that is supposed to be like sacred. People just don't take their vows that serious. And then of course, hey, we have to recognize there are different cultural perspectives and views on what a marriage is and so forth. So
yeah, and I mean at the same time, it's like I can respect people who like are honest about what they want and what they like to do or what they want. Like if you want to be polyamorous, do that. If you want to you want to call it ethical non-monogamy, you can do that too. Like if you're just going to casually date, be honest about it up front and straight up just say you're literally just casually dating and that's all it is. But the problem is where it's like, you kind of say those things, but you're not clear with you're not truly clear to another person. And that's that's any relationship where it's just you know.
And I think that that's what makes it become like such a trending topic or much social discourse and social commentary, because it's like you don't really know what people's I guess you can say agreements. I don't want to say arrangements, but agreements are within their marriage. So then it's like, did the wife know? Then it starts up all of this like commentary that trends, and then now it's like some people say all PR is good, or all publicity. All publicity is good publicity. But I tend to definitely disagree with that, because I wouldn't want to be trending for something like that. But you know, to each their own.
But then it makes me think of the whole entanglement some years ago
with Will and Jada and August Alsina.
Yeah, like that in itself too. Like we don't.
Yeah,
like,
that was considered, and it's been speculated that they've been in an open marriage for so many years. They even said that themselves. However, among the time, it was like they just let the discourse just kind of talk. They didn't try to clear the air.
They wrote it like they just let it.
Eventually, they came out and was like, well, you know.
Yeah.
So
and then I mean, even the whole idea. It's funny, the whole thing came from Jada having that whole chat about it on her podcast, right?
Right, yeah, on the Red Table Talk.
On the Red Table Talk. Like, it kind of, that's when it exploded because of the entanglement part. Because I believe the mentioning of the entanglement came out on that. Like,
no, it was already, the situation happened, but then they addressed it on the Red Table Talk.
But that's when they called it
to it as, it wasn't a relationship, it was an entanglement. So once again, back to everything is considered just casual.
Yes.
Like casual encounters.
Yes. But that's, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we have to also look again at the people who took the vows versus the people who didn't take the vows. And so both are at fault. Who's more at fault though when it comes to that situation? Like with Latto and 21 Savage, who's more at fault? The person who took the vows or the person who didn't? Or both equally?
I would say equally, because regardless of what other people do, you still have a degree of like moral standing that you should follow and to be responsible for your own personhood. So,
and I mean, I think so too. I think that, you know, you should be mindful of those things, especially like when you're talking to someone. And because my whole thing is, you know, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Right.
And wouldn't want to be in a situation where you're talking to someone who's married and then you eventually go on, get married, like, and then that person that you're married to does the same thing. Like a snowball effect. And it's just like, to me, it just puts out bad energy.
And then what about the kids? Because it's just kind of like, that has to impact children in some kind of way too.
Could it desensitize them though from like the idea of marriage?
It's certainly possible. I know for the cast of SisterWives, as an example, the children, you know, that couple pretty much, the couples, if you will, they pretty much mostly all divorced, and it's just kind of like the last wife and the husband, Cody, and the last wife, Robin. They're still kind of together, but as their children are aging, some of them are not going for polyamory like relationships or marriage styles. So it could have the opposite effect, like it could deter them, or they can be desensitized and want to gravitate towards it.
Yeah. And even with that where people have the, you know, like the SisterWives and stuff like that, I feel like they have gone so far into it, like with the people on the SisterWives on that show, like the kids had seen all the ups and downs and all the way around so much.
Yeah, and that's another example of that couple. They've been together for quite a few years too. It always starts with two people, you know, and then it started and it expanded. Cody addition or continued to kind of gather more wives over time and all. So
yeah, and it just, but then what happened? The explosiveness happened because the one wife didn't feel as though she was as loved and cared for as another one, and the same thing happened to the rest of them.
And it continued to be seen as a casual, and then it ended up leading to like the family structure breaking down because they divorced, and then another wife divorced, and then they started moving out of the state, or when they were all like living in the same like community or on the same street. Now they're in a whole new state and all that. So now the family is kind of broken apart a bit.
Right.
So,
but I guess, you know, what I feel like would be interesting too to ask the audience is, hey, like, what are your thoughts on the current state of marriage and how people view it? What are your thoughts on, like, does shame exist anymore?
Yes, let us know in the comments if you feel like there is still power in shame. Should we bring back shame? Put your thoughts there in the comments.
Right, because we're at the stage where people just keep doing the most. Where it's like
nothing is serious.
Yeah.
Nothing is taken serious. So.
And it should be. Like, those are the things that you took vows to be with someone for the rest of your life. And if you can't see the preciousness in that anymore, then what else is left?
Exactly. Hey, we are living in Babylon here. They say we in the end times. The removal of shame, does that mean we're in the end times? Go ahead and let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Have we approached Revelations?
Oh my God. That's a whole nother topic for another day.
I know. Was that our next episode?
That may have to be the next episode. Stay tuned. But once again, this is Miss D here.
I'm Jay with the Gems.
And we are at Should We
Reset?